My argument is that we should not have to pay a flat tax. What we have now is a progressive tax system. This means as you make more, you pay more taxes. A flat tax means that everyone would pay an equal percentage of their income in taxes each year, no matter what their income is. This would not be wise for many reasons. It would be unfair to the poor. A 10% flat tax reduces the well-being of those with low incomes more than it reduces the well-being of those with high incomes. If you are worried about fairness, you want the progressive tax. Revenue. A flat tax is better because it allows us to generate more revenue before we hit the point where it would just be prohibitive to tax anymore. Poor people cannot afford to pay, for instance, 20% of their income in taxes. Introducing progressive rates therefore expands your tax capacity more than flat taxes, so the revenue capacity point cuts for progressive taxes. The loan tax rate tends to be lower than current wealthy filers' rates. When the rich earn regular income, a lot of it is potentially taxed at 39.6%. So in the ordinary tax rate comparison, they'd be paying rates at half or less than their current top taxes. If the flat rate is higher than 10%, the taxpayers would pay more on the amount of their earnings now taxed at that level. Even under the best flat tax scenarios, a single flat rate offers no or minimal relief from current progressive rates for many lower income earners. The embedded national sales tax. While we hear a lot about the flat tax, some proposals also include a component that is much like the value-added tax that's in place across Europe. A value-added tax essentially is a sales tax where the tax is collected in stages from each producer on the supply chain rather than all at once from retailers. This pushes up the price of the goods that consumers eventually pay. Flat tax proposals aren't necessarily simple. A major argument for getting rid of our current tax system and replacing it with a flat tax is that it would be easier. Yeah, right. Some politicians muddy their flat tax waters with things like a value-added tax. Most proposals include retention of tax breaks like the child tax credit and the earned income tax credit. If you're going to start adding things that you're getting rid of back, then it's not a simple or flat tax system. Dealing with debt. When a flat tax erases the existing taxes now collected on higher income taxpayers, the money has to be made up somewhere or the national deficit grows. They say the single lower tax rate revenue losses will be made up by closing loopholes, except as noted in the previous point, some of those loopholes, including costly ones, will be put back. During the October 28, 2015 debate, CNBC's Becky Quick noted that Carson's proposal alone would leave roughly a $1 trillion hole in the federal budget. A flat tax won't eliminate the Internal Revenue Service. One of the arguments for a flat tax is the idea that if we go to one rate, we can just shut the IRS doors. But for all the IRS haters, even if we got a flat tax, you're still going to have to pay a flat tax to someone in the US government. Except we won't be getting a flat tax anytime soon because for all its flaws, a progressive tax system still works better than any flat tax plans. A flat tax impacts taxpayers disproportionately even though the tax is proportionate. Low-income individuals and families must purchase the same necessities required by higher-income people. However, after the necessities are purchased, the poorer taxpayers, because they will earn less, will have less money left over to pay taxes at the same rate as those earning higher income amounts. Say the lowest tax bracket is 10% and the highest, for the most wealthy, is 39.6%. Most flat tax proposals set the flat tax in the range of 17 to 20%, meaning low earners pay way more while the wealthy get a break. Small businesses will also suffer under a flat tax if they are unable to deduct expenses that cut into profits. In conclusion, paying a flat tax is a bad idea because it would be unfair to the poor, make things more complicated, and it would cause the national deficit to grow. Even though the progressive tax system is flawed, it is still a much wiser decision than the flat tax route.